Hello and welcome to the Wheelhouse podcast with the Calhoun County Area Chamber and Visitor Center. My name is Jakob Williamson, and I will be filling in today for Kim Boyd and Laurel and Ashley. They are on vacation or out running around doing their jobs, so I'll be filling in today. And my name is Jakob Williamson, and I'm the Public Affairs Coordinator at the Calhoun County Area and Chamber, and I'm here today with Miranda Bryant. She is the Deputy Chief Clerk at the Calhoun County Commissioner of Licenses Office, and I will let her introduce herself further.
Hey guys, my name is Miranda Bryant. I'm the one that sits just outside of Barry Robertson's office. I'm the one that he will say, hey Miranda, call them and see what they need and see how you can help them. I work with the inventory in our office, and I also work with constituent services.
All right, well, thank you for being here today. We really appreciate it. We're going to be asking a few questions, just talking about licenses, from driver's licenses, boating, or business licenses, hunting, fishing, boating. Just kind of get to the core of it. So where is the Commissioner of Licenses office located at now?
So we have 3 locations in the county. We have in the southern part of the county in Anniston at 1702 Noble is in the Ken Joyner Administration Building. And then in the middle portion of the county we have on 2065 Alexandria Wellington Road. It's the Alexandria Community Center. We're in the basement of that old Methodist church there. And then in the north end of the county, we have the Alvin E. Gibbs Annex that's on 109 Center Avenue in Piedmont.
Okay, so and are they all those offices open around the same operating hours, or they vary?
Pretty much we're open Monday to Friday, 8 to 4:30. The annexes do close at 11:30 for lunch, and they open somewhere between 12:30 and 12:45 from their lunch break.
So what kind of services can you get at the various satellite locations? Is it the same as at the main office? I know that you can get tags renewed because I use the Alexandria Community Center for that myself.
The Alexandria Community Center is hugely popular. It's a really good location for people in Jacksonville, Weaver, Ohatchee, Sacs. We have a lot of people go in that office. The one thing you cannot do in that office, though, is you cannot renew your driver's license. In the Piedmont office, you can do just about all the things, including renew your driver's license. But the Anniston office is the only office where you can do everything. And when I say everything, I mean your tag renewals and your issuances, your title issuances and replacements, and you can do those in Piedmont as well and Alexandria. But the one thing you cannot do in either location is a VIN inspection. So a VIN inspection is if you're coming in from, let's say, Georgia, and you just move here, and you have a Georgia title on your car, then we will have to inspect the VIN number on your vehicle and match it with the VIN number on your paperwork to make sure that we are talking about the same vehicle that we issue the tag and the title for. The only place you can do that is the Anniston office. But in addition to that, you can get your boats registered. You can register your manufactured home decals. You can get your hunting and fishing license at all 3 locations. You can get a business license at all 3 locations, and you can renew your driver's license in Anniston and Piedmont.
Well, great. That's make it convenient on people then.
We try.
Yeah. So what do you need to bring with you to get a license? And we'll just for the various licenses, I guess typically driver's license, for instance. We'll start off with driver's license. What would you say someone should bring with them? What information and documents?
The bare minimum to get the driver's license issued for the first time. First of all, you have to know that if you're getting it issued for the first time, you have to be in Jacksonville at the law enforcement agency state trooper post on Highway 21. That's the number one thing you have to understand. The second thing that you need to know is that you would need your birth certificate, your social security card, and 2 proofs of residency. And if you are a 15-year-old who is about to get your permit for the first time, you're going to need a school enrollment form. And you have to get that from the high school, and it has to be the specific form they're looking for. And I have been through this, that's why I'm saying it. If you get to the DMV and you don't have the specific form they're looking for, they will send you away.
So a report card won't cut it?
It won't cut it.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Now, to come and renew your license, you can just come with your license that you have and go into any one of our satellite offices and renew your driver's license. If you need to change your address, you can change your address. But if you need to change your name, then you have to bring different documents. And for that, I always suggest that people check with the law enforcement agency or call the office there in Anniston to ask what you need to change your name.
And what about for a hunting and fishing license? Those are real popular, especially fishing this time of year.
Indeed, the hunting and fishing licenses, they go through seasons. There's spring turkey season, then there's fall turkey season, there's deer season, there's fishing season, crappie season. We go through all seasons with the hunting and fishing licenses. So we see people all year round coming to do those. You have to have a driver's license or an ID if you are 16 years old. If you don't have that, then you have to prove your residency. And again, I would suggest to call the office to prove your residency. Because if you are 16, you do have to have a fishing license. Now, if you are here at JSU and you want to go fishing, but you have a license from another state, they have a provision for college students.
Okay, so we'll accept that and we'll reciprocate it. And
you need to contact the office and find out what you can do. You can get an Alabama license without having to prove the residency, but you do have to prove you're a student at JSU. So there is a certain way to go about doing that.
Well, good. And how about business licenses? That's a really big one.
Yeah, business licenses are huge. The business license department has one big season where we renew the licenses. It starts in 1st of August. So this is a really good time for us to talk because the gross receipts affidavit card that you report on there how much money you earned the previous year, that gets turned in August. And then in October, that's our renewal for the license. Once you have established your business license, then you renew every year in October. We get confused with the city of Anniston because theirs is in January. So, yeah. But to get a business license to begin with, it's a fairly simple process. There's an application. It's a really simple application form. You fill it out, you submit it to the office, and the Code of Alabama has so many different licensing sections, so it depends on what kind of work you're doing, what kind of business you're opening, how much your license will be. We have to look at all those codes and sections before we can tell you how much your price is. The county is one of the few counties in the state of Alabama that actually has a county business license. So the first time county business license is $10, and then after that it's based on your gross receipts for whatever money you earned that year. However, we do have to also collect your money for your state licenses. So that would depend on sometimes your population, sometimes what type of soda drinks you're selling. If it's on a tap, it costs one amount. If it's in a bottle, it costs another. If the town you're putting your business in has a population of 20,000, it costs this much. But if it's only 7,000, it costs this much less. There's a lot of things.
Factors that go in.
A lot of factors.
Yeah.
One of the things that contractors don't understand is that you have to have a state business license and a county business license and a city business license. So,
and would you need that if you're a contractor for the city, just the city and county you're based in, or for all the ones that you are working in?
Let's say you're a restoration man who lives in Oxford. Okay, so you're going to need a Calhoun County business license. You're going to need a state of Alabama contractor business license. To do work in Oxford, you're going to have an Oxford business license. But if you go to Anniston, you're going to have an Anniston business license.
Huh.
Then if you go to Talladega County to do work, you may have to have a license for Talladega City, however, and for Talladega County, but your state license will cover you in Oxford and Talladega County. You just have to be understanding what it is you need to work your contractor business. And then don't forget, if you're an electrician in your contractor business, you have to have that license. You have to have an AC repairman license, a plumbing license. There's all kind of licensing with business license. It's huge.
So that's probably one thing that it can get very easy to overlook in business.
Absolutely.
And I imagine that's quite something y'all deal with a lot, is people that have just overlooked a licensing fee or something like that. One of these necessary.
A lot of people don't understand car dealers. Well, I buy cars and I sell cars. Well, you can only buy 4 cars in the state of Alabama, and sell them.
Yeah.
You can buy as many as you want, but once you've sold 4 cars, to sell the 5th car, you should have a car dealer license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
and all of that stuff comes from the State Department.
huh.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and that you mentioned an application for the business license, and can that be done online?
You cannot apply online in the sense, but you can request that an application be sent to you through email. So if you were to email our office, you could email license@calhouncounty.org and request an application. We would email you one. You could in turn email it back to the office. We would give you a contact person. Email it back. She would invoice you the amount, and you could pay by credit card that way.
So really, not any of it has to be done in person at the office.
Doesn't have to be done in the office. Now, you do have the option of stopping by, filling out the application, paying for it over the counter, and we hand you the license right there.
Well, I guess that you have that rewarding benefit with going down and doing it in person. Probably feels pretty nice.
Absolutely.
So, well, that's it's good that you make it convenient though, because I mean that's you can do just about all of it online, and that's great to hear. So, that's a really good information. Now, there was something else I wanted to ask you about is the Star ID. It seems like there's a lot of it's a very complicated topic. So as without getting too into the weeds on it, I wanted to ask what's the difference between the Star ID and the standard issue licenses that we've all been getting for so long?
Your standard issue driver's license is still good. Even if you needed to fly an airplane at this point, your standard issue license is good. The Star ID is a little stronger compliance in the vetting, and the new date that they have set for the Star ID to be effective is May 2025. Once this Star compliant ID becomes effective, though, you will be required to have a Star to even fly domestically. Right now, you have to have a passport to fly out of the country, but you don't really need anything else to fly domestically. You will not be allowed to fly domestically even from Alabama to Texas or Florida or wherever unless you have the Star compliant ID or a United States passport. They have said that certain federal buildings you would not be able to gain access to without that compliant ID. I don't have a list of those buildings, so I don't really know all the details. To get the Star ID is not really a hard process. I did it for my daughter when she got her permit.
Oh, okay.
So
you can just go ahead and get the Star ID for right out the gate.
You go ahead and get it now,
and then you won't have to change over. That sounds like a really.
And that's the benefit for going ahead and getting it now, is because when you renew your license, if 2025 comes before you have to renew your license and you have that issue, you're going to do the licensing twice. So what you do is you go in with your birth certificate, your social security card, 2 proofs of residency, and they can issue a Star ID. Now, if you've had a name change because you've been married or what have you, you may have to show some other documentation as well, like your divorce decree or marriage license or whatever, but for the most part, that's all that they require.
So it's really nothing but just an extra bit of information that's going to verify you are who you say you are. It's a little bit more stringent. And the Star ID is, it is a driver's license, so it's, it's not just a photo ID, or it is an actual
It is a driver's license as well. Mm-hmm.
And then I guess you kind of touched on that. People will need the Star ID for, you mentioned flying domestically, getting into buildings, or particular federal buildings. Seems like maybe just states are trying to kind of get on the same page, have some uniformity with their licensings and their identification. So, it's not as complex as people sound. You break it down pretty well. So
well, good. I hope I
so
can.
Thank you.
I hope I can.
But is there anything else that you wanted to share about the licensing office? Touch on?
Yeah, just a couple of things. Because I noticed when I was getting ready for today, that I needed to probably mention that our gross affidavit cards will go out in 1st of August. Renewals will be October 1 to October 31. I said that. I should mention that I noticed in reading somewhere the other day that car dealers can begin renewing their regulatory licenses with the state in August. So by October, when you're ready to renew your business license, you should have your regulatory already lined up. And the way they have it now, you get your dealer tags from the State Department. And you can't do that unless you have your business license from our office. So it's really good to go ahead and get
have a jump.
Yes.
Yep, have a jump start on that.
To get a jump on that. And also this summer for the Freedom Fest in Oxford, we worked with the city of Oxford with regarding their licensing for their vendors and their food trucks. And I learned through Angie Kraft down there that you are not going to be able to apply for that festival unless you have your business license from Calhoun County. So Oxford Fest is coming up in October as well, and I'm pretty sure they'll be opening that up for people to register for that. And so you would need to go ahead and get your county and state licenses in advance of the deadline for the Oxford Fest. And I don't have that information, when that is, but
well, that may be something useful to keep in mind, even for festivals in other areas. If you have a food truck or if you're a vendor, as food trucks become more common and as the licensing systems sort of respond to them, that's probably going to be much more common, like you mentioned with the contractors needing a business license to operate whatever city they're operating in. I imagine that will be the same standard if you're going to a festival in another county, in Talladega County. You're going to want to probably need a business license for Talladega County, even if you've got one in Calhoun.
They have for the food trucks and things of that nature. They have what they call a transient vendor license, and so you have your original county where your business is located, which would be Calhoun County, for example. But then you go over to Talladega to do their Sunshine Festival down in the city of Talladega, where you're going to need a additional county vendor license, and it's a little bit cheaper
so it's not
than
as
what you paid here in Calhoun County. It's just a second license, but it's not as much money.
Well, that's a good thing to definitely want people to look out for that. We definitely want all of our vendors to be aware of that going on as that becomes more popular. But yeah, no. Is there anything else to share from the licensing office at this time?
I just want to do shameless plugs. You can
find go ahead.
You can find Commissioner's Corner on 95.1 The Mountain, and also on WVOK K98 97.9 on your radio. We talk about different things that are going on in the office. And this month, for example, we are talking about domestic violence awareness. And next month, we'll be featuring the Law Enforcement Memorial License Plate. So
that's a great. Glad to see that out there now. So
I love it. It's so beautiful. I did a tag for Chief Partridge the other day down in Oxford, and I said it's so pretty. I wanted to print it in color just to give you a printout of it because it's gorgeous. We do those, and we're also on Facebook. I don't know if people know that.
Well, Facebook's a great place to get information nowadays. So So absolutely, go give them a follow. And she mentioned the email earlier. If anyone wanted to reach out to apply for a business license online, well, that email was, what was that email again?
We have that email. It's license@calhouncounty.org. And then we also have a website where you can find that form and print it out for yourself. And it's www.calhouncountyal.org.
Okay. Well, great. Simple to remember, easy. And I think we've kind of gone through it. And thank you for being here. Thank you for your expertise. And thank you all for listening. We've hope you've learned something. I'm sure you have. I know I did. And we hope you're back next week to listen to episode 11. Well, thank you very much, and you all have a wonderful week.